Review of participation and employment services in remote communities. The Australian government wants better activities, training and job services for people in remote areas. This change will start from the 1st of July 2013. The government wants all Australians to have the good things that go with having a job. If people are able to work, they should be working. Where people are unable to work, they should be able to do activities that will help their community. We're talking about Job Services Australia, Disability Employment Services, Indigenous Employment Program and CDEP. There are many good things about these services, but the government agrees that some things need to change. Moving to a new approach. Sometimes more than one provider is supplying similar services in a remote community. This can be confusing. It might be simpler for JSA, DES and CDEP services to come from one provider or for them to work better together. Having one provider may also mean that providers are able to stay longer in a community. Every community is different, and we want you to tell us what you think your community needs. Centrelink is important in supporting remote communities. Having interviews between Centrelink, providers and people in remote communities might be a good way to do things. This can help to work out what is making it hard for people to get jobs and make it easier for people to get support. What other services can be provided by Centrelink and how can they be improved so that people in remote communities get better support? More community ownership. In many remote communities, there are not enough jobs for all the people who want to work. Getting and keeping a job can mean having to learn new things. There needs to be activities that help people learn these things and activities that help people become stronger members of their community. In communities that don't have enough jobs, it might be better to put effort into making the community a better place to live and helping build jobs. In communities that have more jobs, effort could go into getting people into those jobs. Even where there are jobs, there are many people who need to learn how to get and keep a job. This might mean helping people develop strong work habits, learn personal responsibility, to read, write, and understand English and count, the things they need to get and keep a job. What services does your community need most? Communities could support people to stay in activities that help them learn new things and to get and keep jobs. Responsibilities between the community and service providers and maybe with government agencies could be set out in agreements. How can the government work with your community to help people stay in activities that help them get and keep jobs? Some people tell us they are worried that some young people are leaving school and not doing anything. They are worried that their children will be bored. The government want to make sure that young people learn good habits so that they can have the same opportunities and choices as other Australians. The government think it's important to help young people to get into training and jobs. The government believes that families and communities have a responsibility to make sure that young people stay at school or in training before they start work. How do you think that young people can be helped to stay at school or in training before they start work? Economic development. The government believes that economic development is the way to build jobs that will last. Maybe your community has an idea about how it could be better or more independent. New businesses that make money and bring jobs will help remote communities. We want providers to work more closely with employers and communities to increase local jobs so that when jobs become available, they can be filled locally. One way might be for communities to start up a community-run business that could provide income and jobs. These businesses could help communities become independent and provide services that are not there now. How can we work with the community to help build businesses that will last? Help to move for work. Sometimes people want to move to another area to take up a new job or to go to where there are more jobs. Often people in remote communities have strong cultural and family links to their communities and may want jobs where they can come home regularly. This may mean jobs they can fly in and fly out of or seasonal work. People in remote communities should be supported to move to get a job if they want to. This could include help from mentors to find accommodation, place to live, learn how to get around, manage their money, learning to pay rent and pay bills. It could also include helping people to stay in jobs when they may be a long way from family and friends, often for the first time. How can we help people in remote communities who want to move to take up jobs and to stay in them? Finding effective incentives to participate. The government believes that all people in remote Australia who have to participate should have to go to appointments and other activities. The government wants to make sure that penalties for people who do not turn up are effective. The government believes strongly in no show, no pay. The government also knows that what works in other parts of Australia may not work in remote communities. In remote communities, there might also be a need to reward people for participation. Maybe income management can provide incentives or rewards to participant in some communities. Perhaps some communities could be given a greater role in deciding local approaches to participation and penalties. In some communities, penalties may be more effective, and in other communities, incentives or rewards may work better. What role should communities have in deciding local approaches to rewards and penalties? Women. Women often have helpful ways of fixing problems in their communities. Should women who make sure their children are going to school and are healthy be seen as participating? Should women who are learning things like parenting skills, managing their money, home maintenance and nutrition be seen as participating? How can a new approach best support the positive role of women in your community? Having your say. The government wants to hear your ideas about participation and employment. You may want to put your ideas in writing. For more information, go to our website www.dewa.gov.au/RSR. You can email your ideas or ask any questions at remoteservices@dewa.gov.au. Thank you.